Hey guys, we're back, and currently rank 87 Mythic. So yeah, I'm very happy with BOROS Aggro Humans deck. This deck is the real thing. I've been grinding matches today, just trying to learn and get even better with the deck, and just loving the journey. So let me go ahead and take you into the most recent updates here. So made a kind of a minor change here on the mana base. I actually wanted to see if we can finesse running 2 Iganjos in the deck, which I believe we can. I also took out the Plaza since I removed Anim Pakal. The Plaza I had a couple clunky hands where I couldn't cast my 1-drops on time, and I just don't think it's giving enough to the deck. So I made the changes as follows. I removed the Plaza. We still have 16 sources of red mana, and the only tap land that we have is 1 copy of Sundown Pass. I think we are able to run 2 Iganjos, and they do have a lot of value in this specific deck since we have 15 legends, and so being able to cast it fairly cheaply, this is decent removal. And if we can pack it into our lands, I think that's another way to get more value out of the deck. Running 2 copies, basically our entire deck ends on 3 mana, and so if you run into a hand where you have 2 copies of Iganjo in hand and 1 other land, you can on turn 3 float a mana with the first Iganjo and then play the second one and get that critical 3rd mana to play your 3-drop. So it's not as bad as it sounds, but I think this is a very decent piece of removal. And I lost a recent match to a mono white humans deck because of Iganjo, and so I think getting that second copy is going to be worth it. The other thing that I've done here is we have 4 copies of Brutal Cathar, which I think is absolutely necessary when we're running into other go wide strategy decks or creatures, or there's just so many things that it solves, and so having access to 4 copies really I think is the way. I ended up cutting all of the Knight Errant of Eos. Again, I think with this deck, just because we're not really going wide, yes, there's value in it, but being able to, sometimes you just don't have the luxury to tap your creatures to get the Knight Errant going. You can't really give up a turn. And I think there's a lot of very close matches, especially against mono red. So we are giving up some value there, but at the same time, lowering our curve a little bit. We now have 16 2-drops, and I added in 1 copy of Spellbook Vendor, which I think is a fantastic 2-drop, especially given that we have 22 mana sources in this deck, so we're able to really capitalize on its ability. Minor correction from the last video, I'd said that I think Vendor gave Vigilance. It has Vigilance, it doesn't give Vigilance with its token. Minor error on that last one. But at any rate, it's a great creature, and I think it fits in the deck. Kellen is so good that I'm thinking about running 4 copies. If I were to run 4 copies, it would probably be from, you could maybe cut the Vendor and run just 4 copies of Kellen. Having this on turn 2 is just absurd, especially if you are going first. And running 4 copies of Inti, since if you have extras, you can just discard them. You want the effect at your fingertips every game. So yeah, really just loving the way this deck has been playing out. 10 1-drops here I think is correct. You have a reasonable chance of being able to see one every game. Of course there's going to be games where you don't draw them, but you have a reasonable chance there in your opening hand to have at least 1 1-drop. And then yeah, for your 3-drop slot, these are all the power cards. I want 4 copies of each one, so this all feels really good. All that said, let's hop into a couple games. Also really happy that I figured out how to get this set up so you are seeing this in 1080p high def, so that's been exciting. And I do want to thank you guys so much for all of your feedback and the comments, and yeah, I just appreciate you guys a lot. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you're a returning viewer, yeah, just sit back and enjoy. And again, thank you so much for your support. All right, this is a great opening hand. Happy to keep. One thing I've been thinking about doing is kind of like keeping a roster of like the top 300 players, getting their names, and so if I can recognize what deck they're playing, just kind of like keeping notes on what decks they play, just so you can kind of, you know, even min-max even a little bit better there just by knowing going into a match what you're up against. So like if I knew he was mono red, I would have played veteran there turn 1, but you know, just a minor thing. I just thought it might be kind of fun. Hopefully they don't have another copy. All right, and then I think here we want to, this is kind of interesting. Like with Inti, we can discard, I wouldn't discard this turn, but maybe next turn. But I think Vanguard might be where we're at, because this will represent some damage. If we can get Adeline in next turn, it's pretty great. I think they're honestly both great. This can help us find a land if we're missing one, so that could be something, because getting Adeline down next turn could be huge. But this kind of brings the fight to them, so not really sure. I think I'm going to go with Copper Coat, actually. Since I've got 2 creatures already, I think that's just giving me a little bit more. I really have been trying to like really think about all my plays, especially this high up in the ranking, and just kind of look at all the angles. You know, I'm still learning. I'm, you know, not claiming to be a great player, but I think it's just fun to try to figure it out. Yeah, this is definitely a problem card for us. I think maybe we want to just set up with maybe Inti here. Copper Coat's really great too, though. I don't really want to push this turn, since I think running into Epicure is not really what I'm about. So maybe we go Inti and then set up for next turn to try to make sure we hit that land. Also, if we have Copper Coat, then we can get into Adeline and then give it that protection, which might be pretty important. So yeah, I'm not really sure here. I think I will go Copper Coat, since I want to be able to protect whatever we decide to play. And then I think I'm going to hold back here. We want to keep Invasion off the table. It's definitely kind of a nightmare scenario here. They are going face, which I'm really happy to see. I guess that what they're telegraphing that they have Lightning Strike, which they're going to use on one of these invasions. So I think we sit either way. But yeah, this is definitely a tough turn. So I think we want to get Adeline down. The way they're playing, like without going after this invasion, really telegraphs to me that they've got Lightning Strike. And so I think attacking here, like even though we'll gain 2 life, just walking into a dragon feels pretty bad. Oh, God. Then next turn they get the other dragon going. I guess we can't stop them from getting the other dragon if they're able to play a dragon here. Maybe it's worth getting in, just getting the life. I think it actually might still be worth it, instead of just sitting here. Yeah, there's the Lightning Strike that we knew was coming. And part of the reason that I kind of did this is that, I mean, the Defiant Thundermaw itself can just take this out, so there's sort of no stopping it. We did push a little bit of damage also, which is nice. I don't think we want to give them any more card draw. I think we just take the 2 here, let them resolve the other dragon, and then Brutal Cathar it. Oh man, this just feels bad. So if we Brutal Cathar, it's going to get killed by their first Thundermaw next turn, but we can push some damage this way. And we just absolutely can't have 2 of these on the table at the same time. I think there's just no way we can do that. Like, the worst part is when we get it off the table, it's going to do another 2 damage, but there's kind of no good answers here, unfortunately. So now if we shove with everybody, we get some life. They're going to chump our veteran with Squee. We could potentially hit for something like 5. And I think the longer this game goes, the worse it's going to be for us, unfortunately. So I think we kind of want to push here. We're going to need something amazing, like maybe Recruiter off the top. I don't even know if that's going to be enough. Again, I don't want to give him cards, and I think we've got enough of a life buffer here that we don't want to risk Adeline dying to some, like, play with fire or whatnot, so I think we just take it, unfortunately. Okay. So we can go into here to get our toughness up to 5, which will help. We could also go Vendor, have Vendor give this thing sort of a similar deal. I guess with Inti we get the possibility of like drawing and playing a land, which is pretty huge. Vendor doesn't do that. Vendor ties up our mana. We want to have something in the air potentially to block. They can just kill it with their Thundermaw, but it's something. Also, giving this thing trample, I think, is going to be huge. So I think maybe that's the play. And then I think we're still at a somewhat healthy life total, so we get in with everything to push the extra point of damage. And I think we definitely want to push the trample on Adeline here. Fortunately, we whiffed on the extra draw. So they're going to kill, I guess they're going to use this to take out Inti and then push face with Feldon. I think we just, I guess we got to think this through, because they're gonna get another dragon. If we don't have a way to deal with our dragon, they're gonna do essentially 4 each, 4, 8, 16, 17. Life is gonna start mattering a lot, actually. How do we win? How do we win this game? I think we have to assume they've got nothing. I think we do take it here because we've got to have an amazing draw. This might be unwinnable. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know how we get back into this game. If we vendor, put the token on Adeline. Push it for 5. Let's see, it'll be a 4-6. It'll be a 5-7. 6-7. Actually, yeah, that'll be lethal. We'll be forcing lethal. But again, they've just got us dead in the air. We don't have any real answers. If we play the flyer, they'll just kill it with one of the dragons and then hit us for another 4, 8, 10. Let's see, 4, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, it's... Okay, actually, you know what? Maybe we need to force that. Oh, and we've got a burn just to take that. Okay, let's see what we do here. Let's play this out. So I think we have to attack without playing our veteran. Actually, we can't even play these veterans. Never mind. They're not humans. So I think we just got to hope they block. Yeah, I forgot. Once we, yeah, that would be great. Once these things die, they're spirit clerics, and so we can't cast them with these Cavernous Souls and Secluded Courtyard. Yeah, Defiant Thundermaw is definitely the way, unfortunately. Running 4 copies of Invasion is certainly how I would run it. Okay, that's gonna do it. One other thing, like if you see like other lines of play that that I miss, definitely put it in the comments. Because again, like I'm a decent player, but there are like far better players than me. So, if you see something that I miss, certainly feel free to say something. I think this hand is great. Okay, this is kind of fun. With this hand, we can actually go Mirrex on turn 1 and get the little map thing with Kellen's. That's kind of just sort of a neat little interaction. All right, now we'll go ahead and name human. And we'll see if we can have our Kellen live through the turn, which I highly doubt, but Put it out there. Malcolm is a good one. So I think we could Imidane's Recruiter right here. And it might be correct. I mean, since we've got 2, we're a little bit behind on life and they've got the jump on us. So it might be right. Other thing we could do, I guess, is they could potentially kill Kellen here. We could attack first, see what they do, or we could map token and then attack, I should say. I kind of think the way we win this game, though, honestly, is just by getting Recruiter out there. So let's do that. Like, Recruiter is just great at taking back the reins of being on the aggressive. Okay, there's go for the throat, sure. All right, here I think we're going to play out another Cavern of Souls, so we can do Kellen plus Thalia. And then we'll set up for a big Imidane's Recruiter, ideally the next turn. I guess let's start with Thalia. Let's see what they've got going on, if they have anything to say about that. And I guess there's no reason to play Cavern of Souls since they can't even counter with functionally 1 mana. So we'll keep this as a surprise for next turn. And let's just play out Kellen here. Okay. The one problem with Thalia is we can't do the adventure here. I guess that being said, we can use our map token. Let's maybe put the map on the Recruiter, since Thalia is a pretty good target as is. So let's make sure we tap this right. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Okay, we might be in this. Yeah. Let's Get a land out here. Yeah, they're going to need something amazing here. I think this is going to do it. Okay. That's pretty good. So he blocks the 3/3, goes to 1. That was definitely pretty much the only card that could have stopped us at that point, I think. Fortunately, we've got a lot of nonsense, but I think they have to trade here, so we're at least doing that. Let's get the, have we got enough for everything? I think we do, yeah. And then 4 here. I guess it's either or for this. We'll keep another card just in case they make us discard again. This one's definitely down to the wire. Okay, we're gonna need the Iganjo for that. Do we play this first or not? I don't know. I think we just shove, see what they do. Iganjo, whichever one they block with Alcazats. Alright, now how does this thing work? Transform it. Has one or fewer cards in hand and only as a sorcery. Okay, so gotta keep at least 2 cards in hand. So they're at 1. I think we play it safe. We don't necessarily need to play the copper coat here, since they're just at 1. Even if they play like another bat. Yeah, even if they play another bat, we still have enough, I guess. We attack with 3. Well, we don't have enough. So I think we do play Copper Coat then. This is tough. Could play the Veteran and have this ready, but then we're down to 1 card, so I think maybe we just sit. Yeah, there's Invasion. Okay, whenever we discard a bat, I think that's only if it's in play, right? Okay, so we can discard Cavernous Souls here safely. Although, I suppose we could discard Veteran and get another flyer, which I kind of like. So I think maybe we discard Veteran here instead. Okay, that's gonna do it. Whew, close one. No lifelink, right? Yeah, okay. Whew, close game there. Yeah, and keeping that extra card in hand was instrumental, because otherwise they could have brought the Alcazats back. All right, opening hand looks great. But yeah, don't be afraid to use your recruiters if you've got to get back in the game in terms of if you're behind. It's a great way to catch up. Okay, mono red. So they're probably holding Play with Fire. That being said, I think we kind of want to get going next turn with our 2-drop. So even if they use it on veteran, maybe it's better to play out like officer instead to try to like draw the fire and then get veteran going later. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, if they haven't got it, it's obviously better to have veteran going. But I think we play officer here kind of in the hopes that maybe we catch up with a life later. Okay, I guess they didn't have it. I also kind of like blocking here. Like this early, just kind of slowing them down really can be quite useful. Like the card advantage later, like when they have all the mana to use it, is not as useful. But like here, I think we actually make the trade, give them the cards when they're more stopped up on like everything they need to deploy. Okay, now let's lead out with Inti. We've got a backup in case they kill it. And they killed it. No surprise there. Okay. So I think we just sort of do that again. Let's get our veteran down first. Do I want to have access to the Myrics? Yeah, I mean, I think maybe it might be useful to have a Myrics in case we draw land later, so we can like get rid of this plains. That would be going kind of long for the game, but actually having the, well, yeah, let's use the Myrics, it's fine. Okay. Because we've still got like access to 2 different colors that we need. This is tough. It is pretty early. They're definitely pushing damage here. We could trade with Squee. If we trade with Squee, we try to like rebuild with like Coppercoat and Immodane's Recruiter. Part of me just wants to block their 1/1 with Inti and then start racing Squee. Now that is kind of a crazy proposition. And maybe it's just wrong. Yeah, I think maybe we have to block Squee, because this thing just represents so much advantage. Oh god, I forgot they have... Oh, Monstrous Rage Blowout. Ugh. Okay, that's a huge mistake. I forgot they had an extra mana open there. Wow. Can we try to crawl back into this game? This thing's a 4/4 now. Good lord. So I guess we go veteran into Vanguard. That was a big mistake, though. This is a pretty nuts god draw here for red. Whew. 4/4 Squee. It's going to be tough. I think we're just dead. I think at this point we are probably just dead. So if we block a 1/1, take 9, go down to 8. This thing has trample. So yeah, I think we just... Otherwise we take 10 and then try to get some knights next turn and maybe survive. That might be better, actually. Okay, we got the land. So now we get some knights going. I think if they have anything, we're just dead. But we might still be just dead anyways, but if these things both block Squee, and we block here, and they've got no spells at all, we're taking 5, gaining 2. I think this is the way. If they have like Mountain. They need like, yeah, okay, never mind. They can recast Squee. We're so done. Whew, what a beating. Yeah, because even 2 nights now, like, block, we take 4, we're just dead. I guess we'll force him to do it. Yep. Yeah, the competition up here is stiff, although I definitely think that was a misplay, seeing that mana open. You have to assume they always have Monstrous Rage every single game, and they basically do. But if we had kept our Inti alive, we would have taken some damage there, maybe could have sort of got something going. Okay, his opening hand looks great. Since they've got a 1/1 here, I think we will start with Initiate, just since it can block effectively. I suppose if they pump it, not so much, but I think that's okay. Can be a mild deterrent. Here I think we want to get Kellen going. We could like double Recruiter, which is still decent. But I mean, they don't, like, he could just block with Ichor Drinker. So I think we want to go for Kellen here. Oh man, that's too bad. They've got the extra blood tokens, they can kill it with Blood Tithe Harvester. I was hoping we'd get 1 attack phase with it. I assume they do that now, or like on our beginning of combat step. I mean, if they want to just attack, I think we just let it through. This is where Ganjo comes in handy. So let's play Mirix. Can get Thalia going, and then guess we can use our Mirix this turn to actually let's do it with the Battlefield Forge. Only because if they decide not to, we want to be able to do it on their turn. We'll take a point of damage, but I think it's worth it. Maybe, yeah, actually let's leave Mirix up since I think we can... Okay. Recording broke down for a second there. I don't think they're going to see this coming, though. Yeah, this is going to be a blowout. So they can at least trade. But that's still great for us. Adeline is certainly interesting. I think Spellbook Vendor might be the card, though. Because if we go Vendor, then we can put a counter on Thalia, which will hold off their whole team, which I like. So I think we do it like that. And then I think we can push for 2 here. It is a little dangerous, though. Like, if they draw removal, like, we're so dead. So maybe we just hold back on the initiate until we try to stabilize for a little bit. So yeah, I think we hang back for a second here. But Thalia's a good look right now. Okay, that was great. So now we can go Adeline plus Officer. Actually, Adeline plus Spellbook Vendor. We do take a point of pain. And then I think we put it on Vendor. And I guess we can attack with Vendor. I suppose they can trade. And that doesn't feel great. We do push 2 guys here. Maybe we just sit, honestly. I think we actually just sit a little longer. Let's put it on Adeline to make it bigger than their Blood Tithe Harvester. So we could attack with these 2 here, but we are a little low, and I'm worried about shenanigans, so I think we just hang out. Yeah, because now they can get rid of Thalia, which is annoying. Okay, so now could go Inti to make this a like 6/6 trample. That feels pretty good. They can still double block it profitably though. I think we want to set up like a big Imidane's Recruiter turn. So we could like drop this and then set up for a huge attack next turn. Yeah, I don't like all this pain either, so it's... I think let's put up one here on Spellbook Vendor. Now maybe we get in with these two, and then we could have like 3 on defense. We do get kind of low on life, though, is the only problem here. I guess Adeline can push also. Because if Adeline goes to 6, they like double block it here. It's actually still not great. I think if we attack with all 3, though, this actually is pretty decent for us. And then let's get rid of an officer here to make, if we make it on Adeline, it's a little harder for them to block. Or actually, yeah. Do we want Kellen on top? No, I don't think so. Uganjo feels really good. Gotta be a little worried about them draining us out. So I think the veteran will help. We go down to 6. But we're gonna start gaining some life back. Okay, they would definitely want to drain us out, so let's get our veteran going here. God, this will put us down to 3, which is super crazy, but I think we need to have it in play. Otherwise, if we do recruiter here, so we could recruiter for pain, go down to 3, plus officer. They block 3, they go to 18, 20. We're not pushing more than 20. We got to do this over 2 turns, so I think we need veteran here. Veteran gets us down to 3. They can kill us between this turn and next turn if we don't lose something. We might have to Aganja one of our own guys, as crazy as that sounds. It's this Ron that's the problem. As long as Ron dies, though. I think maybe, let's see. Maybe we do it this way. I'm not sure if this is enough. I guess we're going to find out. I don't think it's enough, unfortunately. But we're going to give Adeline trample. I think we just ran out of time there, basically. So they're at 18. Can they safely do it this way? 11. I don't think they can. They go to 20 and we do 20. I think we actually have them. Whew, this is close. I think we stabilize at 1. Man, what a game. Whew. Yeah, these are the kind of games I just love to play, like where it's super close and just, it's like down to the rope on every single person's turn. Got there. Oh. Whew. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, if you like this content, please consider subscribing. Let's take a look at the stats. Let's see. So it's probably not going to reflect right away, but I guess it reflected some of the games. So we are currently 70 wins and 44 losses, so 61% win rate with this deck. I think this doesn't count all of the games that I jammed earlier today on my laptop. Unfortunately, Untapped isn't able to get all those matches in there, so it doesn't reflect the true accurate win rate, but it's pretty close. At any rate, yeah. So we'll kind of go over all the matches here in the next couple videos. I think I just did it, so we'll give it a couple more games before we start looking at it again. But yeah, Mono Red is definitely one to beat, and I do like the changes that I made to the deck. I'm really happy with where it's at right now. I think that Spellbook Vendor did a lot of work that game. So, you know, having the 1 here, you could do 4 Kellen, you could do like 1 Vendor, 3 Kellen. I can understand wanting 4 Kellen. I just don't know what I would cut to get there. I think everything else has a place and fits. And so we will see you here for the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.